Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are here playing Icewind Dale, Rime or Reason, and we're so glad you are here to watch us. This is session 10, and gentlemen, my friends, how you doing tonight?
Doing well.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah, cool. Well, very good. Hey, I want to thank Hero Forge, our sponsor for Icewind Dale, Rime or Reason, once again. They are an amazing company that does amazing things, including 3D custom printable miniatures. You can go in and you can build your characters exactly as you envision at heroforge.com. They now have color tools. They now have several different materials. They're always adding new weapons and items and magic effects and clothes and all kinds of cool stuff. And they actually, I think they're celebrating, I can't remember if it's like 30,000 followers on Twitter right now by doing a little giveaway. I might be wrong on that number. But anyway, they're doing a giveaway on Twitter. And you could possibly win $50 credit to Hero Forge. So if you go check out my Twitter feed or just go search for Hero Forge on Twitter, I retweeted it recently. But yeah, pretty cool little giveaway. So go treat yourself and try to win that. And in the meantime, you know, hey, if you see any characters in this show, any NPCs or any of our characters here that you would like to create in Hero Forge, you can always share that stuff with me too. That's always a lot of fun. Yeah, so heroforge.com. Thanks. All right. Oh, the other thing I wanted to quick plug is, before we get going, patrons of WASD20 do get access to campaign diaries. So if you ever want to see a little bit of behind the scenes, my kind of reflections on my own process as a DM and some of my own planning and talking about you know, how the game's going, you can get access to that on my Patreon, patreon.com/WASD20, link in the description. I think our next one's probably going to be this Sunday, Valentine's Day. I usually like to give it a few days after the session at around probably 5 p.m., I'm guessing. So
Is it going to be filled with love, mate?
Oh, it will be. It will be me just gushing about how awesome you guys are and how much
Dripping with romance.
how much I love Oriel the Frost Maiden. No, she's evil. She's terrible. Speaking of Oriel the Frost Maiden, let us begin. The people of Icewind Dale continue to suffer greatly under the eternal winter caused by the daily Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I forgot to mention. Our giveaway. Are we going to do that at the break, Will? Like when we come back from the break? Okay, cool. So yeah, people who in the last 2 weeks have liked WASD20, Dark Sea Workshop, and Dead Aussie Gamer on Facebook, we have compiled a short list of names, and there will be a winner of some goodies from the Dark Sea Workshop. So yeah, cool.
I got it right.
There you go, you did. You actually pointed in the right. It's really hard here, guys.
Took a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not what.
All right, let's try that again. The people of Icewind Dale continue to suffer greatly under the eternal winter caused by the daily flight of Oriel the Frost Maiden across the sky, keeping the sun at bay. Poverty and hopelessness are deepening their hold here. But signs of hope emerge in the form of a small group of problem solvers, and word has spread of their deeds. Apparently there are a few who have not been frozen into complacency, who still have a bit of fight left in them. The curse of the Frost Maiden, however, does not seem to be the most immediate threat for the residents of 10 towns here in Icewind Dale. The Duergar appear to have come out of the Underdark and have sinister plans here in Icewind Dale, expanding their kingdom onto the surface. Our adventurers raided their outpost last session, one of their outposts, at least, and found the son of the chief Zardarok Sunblight. And after slaying his son and several other Duergar, they are now, they have found the culprits behind the thieving that's been happening in Caer Konig, and they will soon be headed back there. You guys are in the, you have woken up rested a night in the Duergar outpost that you have cleansed. What are you doing as you awaken here in the cold halls of the Duergar outpost?
Before we talk about the morning, can I talk about right before heading to bed?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
bedding
Sure.
down?
Yeah.
So Clay would have waited until everyone else sort of found their spots, waited awake, and as everyone sort of settled down, he would have stood up and sort of paced in a row somewhere where somebody wouldn't have been able, where no one would have been able to see him, and he would have stopped outside of the room where the final Duergar had been slain, and looked down at his arm and pulled back his sleeve. And as he pulled back his sleeve, his skin would have changed from the blue that it is to a dull gray. And up the side of his arms, if someone were watching, they would see perfectly cut lines, several dozen of them, scarred up the side of his arm. And he would have pulled a dagger out from underneath his cloak, one that he never uses for combat or anything else. And he would have looked at his arm and looked at the dagger and looked at the door where the dead Duergar sat and pondered for a moment before sighing heavily and then putting his knife back in under his cloak, letting his arm turn back to blue, pulling his sleeve back down, and then finding a place to rest for the night.
Yeah, the cold, I imagine, feels a little colder tonight for Clay here in the halls of the Duergar outpost. The sun does not come up the next morning, as it doesn't come up every morning here in Icewind Dale. But you awake feeling like it's probably morning. And what do the rest of you do as you greet the new day here in the cold halls?
Grukvar is resting on his bed and has taken out some small stones out of his pouch he uses for his magical implements, and has smeared a little bit of aromatic oil over some of them, and has kind of positioned around himself, and he's meditating, trying to modulate his emotions a little bit, since he feels that he lost his temper last night, and is using some of these techniques, meditation techniques that he's been taught by Anastasia, the priestess.
Very nice.
Fizwick has taken some charcoal and put inappropriate Xbox style images, if you could just draw anything, all over the walls, goblin sized.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And Nikos?
Nikos is basically at this point still kind of contemplating what it means that the Duergar are up here, and you know what it meant to have the ore suddenly be found, you know, just so in their possession. He's nervous to say the least, not just because it's a potentially powerful tool, but if the Duergar have it here, who else has pieces around Icewind Dale, and what are they using it for? He's kind of, without touching the thing, like in its wrap, kind of just very, very directively kind of thinking about what exactly it means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nikos, with his background as a red wizard, would have some recollection of this substance, this chardalyn, and knows that, and the rest of you would probably be familiar with the fact that it was only 100 years ago that there was a dark wizard who built a tower of this substance, and it was,
is his name known, or like, do we know anything about, or is it kind of like a fairy tale that we would all have heard?
you would probably know his name, and the chardalyn, he was defeated, he was destroyed, the tower was shattered, and but the chardalyn is still out there. Let's see here, sorry, there we go. No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. I just read this about 10 minutes ago. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and if anyone, if any of our viewers are familiar with the crystal shard, that's basically the story here. Akar Kessel was his name. Yeah. And
Crystal Shard, the Salvatore.
Yep, that's right.
Salvatore
Yep.
books.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so basically the magic that he used with the crystal shard to build this tower and to gain his own power, it kind of was suffused with the ice, and that's what his tower was made of. And when it shattered, that was chardalyn. So he didn't necessarily build it out of chardalyn. It's like, no, chardalyn was kind of the byproduct of this of what he did here in Icewind Dale in the ice. Okay, very good. So anything else you guys would like to do before you leave the outpost here and head back to Caer Konig?
The chardalyn, how big are the pieces?
I would say they're probably, vary, but, probably at biggest, like, that big, I would say.
Could one be forged into like a dagger or a special arrowhead, or?
It is, like, able to be forged, yes.
You just can't touch it if you can wield magic, right?
Well, that was what you guys, that was the working theory last time. You guys would definitely know that it has some dark powers of some kind, or it carries a curse of some kind. And Nikos would probably know that most strongly. And then you also do, I'll remind you, you heard about a young man who worked in Bremen, and his mother was very concerned about him, and she did mention to you that he had been wearing, after he met a couple of tieflings, had been wearing a dark stone around his neck, and did start acting more irritable, more just cruel, and eventually he split. He left.
Was that the at the beginning, the young man that we were supposed to keep an eye out for? She had no idea where he was.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would like to just do a quick once over of Nildar's office.
Yeah.
And I want to just see if there's anything on his corpse, on his person, I could take as an identifier that we interacted with him. If I want to prove that to his brother.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I would say you could probably find like maybe let's say like a ring. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Like
definitely has
a signet ring.
Yep, a signet ring with the sunblight, probably crest or something like that on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. I would imagine it has a sort of just a dull gray stone that doesn't differ too much from the dark metal in which it is set, but it is just kind of a swirling.
Classic Duergar, nothing fancy, nothing to look at.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep. Sorry, no pretty shiny things for Fizwick. Duergar are too boring for that.
You could You would find Clay probably out by the front, the drawbridge, just sort of sitting and sharpening his axes.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of his morning ritual.
Very good. All right. Do we want to set off for Caer Konig once again?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you guys pass the journey. It's just a few hours without incident. The weather is quite clear, crisp, and cold as always. But you pass the journey without incident back to Caer Konig. You guys see it in the distance. What would you like to do here? There is, of course, the inn, and there is the tavern as well. The inn was the Northern Light, and then there was, I can't remember the tavern name.
Probably deliver the Northern Light back to the inn.
Mm-hmm.
And then did we have money to disperse amongst ourselves, or what were we going to do with?
I don't remember. Did we find any gold or silver pieces amongst those Duergar we killed?
You know, I don't think you did, actually. Yeah, I mean,
We just got the pearls, the goats, and the Northern Light, right?
yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, did you guys take the goats with you? Back to...
I would
Somebody-
say that we did.
Didn't somebody try to eat one?
There was
Well,
talk of roasting
Talk
goat.
of it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys have the goats, you guys have the pearls, and you have the Northern Light. You Nikos and Grukvar and Clay would probably wonder where the town speaker's satchel may have been, because that was also missing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his European character.
Maybe we scoured the fortress where we left and couldn't find it. Figured they must have passed it on down to some other Duergar.
Yeah,
They took the bucks and threw it in the ditch.
yeah. Trovis will be disappointed, but you know. All right, so do you guys want to head to the Northern Light first and return the light?
I think so. I handed it to somebody. I don't remember who. Somebody has it.
So you guys enter the Northern Light, and it is, midday, and there's not too much action in here, but you do see the sisters. Let's see, Allie and Corey behind the bar. They're in a heated bit of whisper bickering at the moment, and trying not to cause a scene with the few customers that are in the Northern Light at the moment. They don't seem to notice you.
I walk up to the bar and kind of wrap my knuckles hard on the bar top.
Oh my, you're back. Allie walks over, and Corey is just kind of left there by the taps, kind of mid whisper yell, like, and turns and says, "Did you find the stolen goods? Did you? You're all in one piece? That's a good sign."
Fizwick just kind of goes around the corner out of her sight and just kind of looks like he's lost interest in the conversation already, but he's definitely out of her sight.
Okay.
If he can be.
Awesome. To answer her question,
Look, the bathrooms don't fall.
I think Clay did say yes, but
yeah, I'll also draw the Northern Light lantern and put it on the table.
yeah, you do so, and her eyes, oh, thank the gods, it's back home.
Oh, good. It's not some other random shiny rock that.
No, this is the one. This is the one. Oh, thank you so kindly. This is wonderful. Corey's kind of finally cracks a smile and says, "Indeed, thank you." and I'll go put it in its place outside the inn here. And she picks it up and takes it out while Allie's kind of left there at the bar.
Now, there is another matter we should discuss. These belongings are also part of what has been stolen. And I think perhaps I have an idea of getting more business through here. Send someone to place posters around the town saying that the thief who has been taking various belongings have, let's say, been dealt with. They should not be causing any further problems here in town. But if you wish to reclaim that which has been stolen, to come to the tavern in order to do so. This will obviously generate traffic. People might stay for food and beverage.
Well, yes, I suppose that is a good idea. We can tie up the goats out back. And was there anything else?
I will ask Clay and Grokvar. We'll start unloading the stuff that we found at the fortress. Yes.
Sounds good.
I'll accept the shards. I'm going to take my spear off and kind of like lay it across my lap so it's under the bar.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not not handing out the shard. Everything else, yes.
And can Clay set that on the bar, and then one of us kind of takes it and just scoots it back with our hand, like one of those tools that the people in a casino use to move chips around. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of pull it back towards us,
like a chip rake.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like it.
Oh, and Ali, make sure that you make sure that those that come in to claim these goods, have them describe them before you hand them over. We don't want to have them get misplaced again.
Oh yes, most certainly we will. Thank you once again. So you guys hand over the pearls and the goats, and I think that was it. And other than
Any
the
reward
land.
should come from the collection of these items. We trust that you will hand it back over to us.
Well, yes, we will. Yes, of course. There's not likely to be much, but if there is, I will certainly, encourage any such reward, and we'll see what we can do. In addition, of course, to any cut of the business, as we discussed previously. Now, that reminds me. We have had some trouble getting much by way of the concoction needed for this drink. We might have to explore some alternatives, but there's actually a good chef over in Caer Konig to our south, and I'll be in communication with him. I sent a letter this morning, actually, trying to come up with something creative, ingenious. The trouble is mainly the limes from the south are, well, we haven't got nary a shipment of anything through the mountains from Luskin or further south. So hard to come by these days, but we're gonna see what we can do. Make something special.
Aye.
I see. Well, do what you can. And if this chef causes you any problems, then let me know. We will perhaps maybe pay a visit to him personally to give him an invitation to come and work for us. In the meantime, however, I look around. Is the tavern's not dingy or anything like that, is it? Is it like...
Not particularly. I would say it's better than average than what you've seen in 10 towns, other than maybe some of the bigger cities. But it certainly is better than what you'd expect in a town so small.
I'll just tell them we should start preparing for a number of guests. Yes? All right, we all have our things to do.
Right. And she says, yes, we will get on posting these messages and see what kind of business we can drum up. Perhaps the chef will even arrive from Caer Konig sometime tonight. You never know.
Who knows?
And so she begins busying herself. Corey comes in, having posted the light, and has a big beaming smile on her face. They seem to be kind of over their little spat earlier and busying themselves to make the tavern spick and span, and really trying to make the place seem nice. Is there anything else you guys want to do during the day here? Otherwise, we can maybe fast forward to nighttime when perhaps there is a bit of a gathering at the inn.
There's not much in the way of activities around here, right? It would mostly just be like, there's not a lot of shops or anything. It's mostly just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, that's right.
Fizwick loves activities.
Allie does mention, oh, by the way, as maybe an hour or so later, if you guys are hanging around in the inn at all, would mention, Jartha, she's not doing well. Seems to be some kind of infection from the wound on her leg. Just thought you might like to know.
Where is she resting now?
Oh, she's at her place over next to Frozen Far Expeditions.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is so boring. We gotta line something up. Let's go. What are we gonna do?
Oh, we're terribly sorry that the injured leg of the person who sacrificed themselves is not entertaining to you, Master Fizwick. But perhaps as a courtesy, we might want to show some appreciation and see if we can help her with her wounds.
As they are having that conversation, Clay is going to stand up and leave the inn and just go for a little walk.
Sure.
Grukfar and I, Nikos and I look at each other and just sort of like, I grab Fizwick physically, and we start walking towards Jartha's.
Actually, if thinking about it, and I'm going to ask this as a player, I think if Clay is going off in a direction and Fizwick is restless, sending Fizwick with Clay might not be a terrible idea either.
Clay would protest that strongly.
Clay is left.
Clay can enjoy the company that we send
I'll tell you what I do on my walk later.
Okay.
Fizwick.
It's a Fizwick question. Do you want to come with us, or do you want to go with Clay?
Do you want to come with us, or
Poison do I pick here?
if you stay at a distance, you can walk behind Clay and he won't even see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sneak around and see what Clay's up to.
Okay.
It'll be a fun game.
Good thinking.
All right, then I will say what I do, I guess.
Well, let's do this.
Yeah.
We need to see if you are indeed spotted, Fizwick, because Clay, that might change what Clay does if you spot Fizwick.
That's
correct? Fair. So let's not make it that easy for him. All right. So Fizwick, go ahead and roll stealth, and we'll just use Clay's passive wisdom here. So, or I don't know, Clay. Do you think how vigilant would you be? Because I'll let you roll.
Well, I was debating between 2 feats when I leveled up, and I chose the one that would not come in handy right now.
Alert or what?
My passive perception is 12.
Okay, I'll let you roll for it if you'd rather, but I'll let you choose that. Because I don't know if this is passive or not. Like, depends how vigilant you're being.
I assume that I just left by myself, so I would assume it would have to be passive.
That's the point of following someone. You don't want them to know.
There you go. So then it is passive. So Fizwick, you have to roll your stealth.
17, homie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Clay, you get the feeling you're alone.
Okay. So Clay is going to walk, I don't know, maybe
Like,
a half a mile in the direction farthest away from town. And I'm going to find a landmark, and I'm going to use my spear tip to dig a hole in my hands. And I'm going to put the shards in that hole and bury it and cover it up with like a rock or a big stone or something like that. And so that I know where it is, but they're safe and secret.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you managed to do so. Yep.
Fizwick saw a huge rat and is now just detoured his interest.
So yeah, you probably saw Clay hunch over in the snow or something like that, but maybe that's all you notice. Yeah. Okay.
As far as you know, you just watched me taking a dump in the field.
Saving it.
All right. Nikos and Grukvar, you guys are headed to Jartha's place.
Nikos, can I come with
yeah.
you to Jartha's?
Yes, no, this would be quite good. The last thing I would want is for the poor woman to have to lose her leg over Durga trap.
So you make your way over there. You remember the way quite well. It's right next to Frozen Far Expeditions, and I'll pull up a map here so we can review a little bit of the location. Maybe. Okay. Yep. There we go. So Frozen Far Expeditions is right up here. So her place is right next to it, and you are now outside her door, and you guys notice that there is an old woman who is also headed that way. Seems to have a basket of herbs or something like that, and says, "Oi, you're they who are doing the good things. Heard about you. Thank you for your help. I was just bringing some items here for Jartha. Are you visiting as well?"
We are indeed.
Well, come on in. And she opens the door and she says, "Jartha, look who's here." And Jartha, you see her in bed, a cloth over her head, just sweat, almost freezing on her face, and shivering. She says, Hey. And she slumps, eyes closed once again.
Oh,
How does the old woman react to that?
She kind of rushes over to her side and says, oh dear. And she's pulling out some herbs, and she's kind of rubbing a bit of a poultice into it with a mortar and pestle.
Good lady, do you have everything you need to treat Jartha, or do you need any additional assistance or any herbs of any kind?
Oh, the infection is very strong. I'm not sure what I have is up to the task, but I'm trying.
Grokvar, you have skills in healing, should we say. Is there anything you can do?
I can cure a wound, but there's no wound here that I see. This is more along the lines of common disease, I believe. A wound, but perhaps Nikos makes a point. Can I have a look at the wound on her leg?
Oh, absolutely. And she very cautiously pulls back a covering, just basically a sheet that's kind of over her legs, and shows you this wound. And indeed, it does look very red. It's no longer bleeding, but you see clear signs of infection here.
Okay. Can I do a medicine check just to see if there's any other kind of identifiers I can perceive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a medicine check. Yep.
11.
All right. Yeah, you don't really notice anything other than, her leg seems to be infected. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to cast Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you may do so.
Okay. I draw out my holy symbol and I speak in utterance, and I've got 10 points of healing.
Okay.
Are there any effects from that?
Yeah, I mean, she does open her eyes, and the wound looks a little bit less red
Okay.
as you do this, and the woman sitting next to her says, oh, "A healer. Are you? Oh, that's amazing. Always dreamed of being a cleric myself."
Are you in any training? Do you have anyone to speak to about it?
At my age? Oh, no training.
You're never
But,
too old to learn. I became a cleric after 180 years of doing nothing at all, really.
Oh, that's right, the dwarven thing, yes. That's right.
That's right.
You lot live a while longer than us humans. But, no. I gather herbs, make poultices, teas. That's what I do. Well, I think she needs more rest. What you've done could be just what's needed. But, I'll let you know if anything changes.
All right.
And
What's your
Jartha-
name? What's your name, good lady?
So she kind of gives you a kind of a squinty eye and says, "They call me the toe."
Fizwick kind of giggles a little bit.
The toe?
The toe.
Yeah,
As in-
because wait, no, I'll tell you later.
Where the hell did you come from?
Yeah, Fizwick all of a sudden arrives. The door is ajar. And
It's cold outside, so I decided to come in.
Clay's back at the bar.
yeah,
Back
so
A
I
toe
forgot
is in
what was going on, so I just.
a toe isn't growing on your foot?
yeah, it was kind of a weird thing my dad had of naming us all after body parts. Well, the real name is Catherine, but people call me the toe. It just stuck. I don't know.
Catherine, tell you know
So-
they called her in school.
How many kids did her parents have?
Oh, 9 or
Yep.
10, I think.
They'd have to
Last-
start getting
So-
creative with body part names.
So where do your earlier siblings, was there one called heads, the other one shoulders, and the other one knees?
Oh, no. The head was father. Father,
Ah.
yes, he was the head, obviously. Yes.
Was
Mother,
it
she
dog?
Big
died
fella.
in childbirth. I never heard what she was called. Died giving birth to me. The youngest. I got stuck with the toe.
Well, toe, it's good to make your acquaintance.
Could be worse. So, yeah.
We'll be on our way if you give our good wishes to Jartha when she wakes up.
I will. She seems to be, and she kind of puts her hand on Jartha's chest and says, "The breathing's a little deeper already. Thank you. Jartha doesn't have any money. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, so we'll see. Hopefully she's cured soon. The town can only feed so many mouths. It's hard times. But thank you. Take care."
You will.
Clay, at the bar, there's a few more patrons starting to trickle in for sure, and you would definitely maybe get a few slaps on the back, sort of thing, like "Hey," from some manly men who are maybe in
I'm
awe
holding
of-
my beer, trying not to spill it as I get slapped on the back.
Yeah. Anything else the rest of you would like to do before heading back to the inn? The night is coming soon.
No, if it's quiet during the day, then the only thing I'd really want to do is check up on Jartha. I guess the only other thing is I'll spend the day in the tavern, sort of just crunching numbers, as it were, like doing accounting stuff, just to try and see if I can make out the difference between productivity since before and after the arrival, and measuring out revenue.
Yeah, nice. I love it. And yeah, I would say that probably you can anticipate some income after about 1 week or one. They call it 110 day. I'm not going to be super strict, and because the way campaigns often go, like how long have we actually been adventuring? Like maybe 5-6 days. I don't remember. So I don't want to make you guys wait till the last session 25 to get a little bit of it. But but
We'll
yeah,
just make whatever we do next take a really long time.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, if it's any consolation, I've always viewed this this sort of stuff as just a side thing, just a character thing, more than I did a, we make money because obviously we're going to make more money out adventuring anyway. Otherwise, we wouldn't be adventurers.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
we were also given a place to stay here, right? Or
Yeah, you have free
Yeah.
room and board at the inn. Yep, at the Northern Light. Hmm.
Yeah.
if they're coming back, I would either pull Nikos or Gruffar aside and just ask how is she doing.
Hmm.
She's doing better now.
That's good to hear.
Fizwick
Yes.
is in the bar trying to get some food and drink.
Yep. So yeah, you managed to get some food and drink for sure. There's some smoked knucklehead trout and some other probably some potatoes and things that are being served up here. It smells pretty good. Some of the better smelling food. And the crowd is definitely starting to gather here in the Northern Light. There's Allie would say to you, all right, the time has come. I've got to work the crowd a little bit. People are excited you're here. So, how can we, milk this and make us all a little bit more money? Make these hard times a little easier for a few folk.
Clay gets up and stands in the darkest corner he can find and just drinks it here.
Okay. Yeah, and she would probably say, you're a spry one. Got any acrobatic tricks to help enliven things up a little bit here, Fizwick?
Fizwick's favorite game, stabby, stabby, stabby. And Fizwick whips out his knife and he twirls it into the air. Like so many spins, 5 feet into the air, and catches it back down, and then slams it into the table like this. I challenge anybody 50 gold pieces to a game with me of stabby, 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 stabby.
The eyes of everyone as you toss this knife up and it catches a little bit of the flicker from the hearth, are definitely like wide eyes. And as it slams down, as soon as you say 50 gold, you see shoulders kind of slump. And then one kind of shy, waifish looking boy walks up, long, scraggly blonde hair, scraggly looking beard, like just peach fuzz sort of thing, and says, "Well, I might be able to scrounge up a few silver, if you're interested."
Oh, Fizwick's not in this for silver. Fizwick is in this for gold. Is there no men here that can challenge me, little goblin like me? Bunch of weenies. Where are we at? And he looks up at Nikos. Where is this? Where are we at?
50 gold
Nikos is
so much
Nikos is
money.
behind the counter, keeping his head down. He hears the 50 gold, and then his ears start to twitch. He's like, He puts down his pen. He takes the tankard of grog and just downs it straight away. And he steps right up to Fizwick. There's a new look in his eyes. Like he always looks at Fizwick rather kindly compared to other people, but now he's like deadpan serious. I will take you up on your stabby challenge. What is rules?
Stabby, 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 stabby.
And yeah, you definitely are starting to gather a crowd here. When as soon as Nico says this, there's a little bit of like a murmur of almost cheering, but like, yeah, someone's taking the challenge. And as you guys sit down, a crowd is gathering around you. There's now a person in the corner who has begun playing a bit of flute melody as well. Actually young elf. And as you sit down, what I would like you guys to do here for stabby knife game, I think it was called.
Stabby.
That thing, yes.
It's the more advanced version.
Clay can't help himself. He's finished his ale and he's sort of like slowly inching up toward the table because he just needs to see.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, here's the rule, guys. What I'd like you to do, and this might take a minute, but I want you to roll 5d5. I'm sorry, 5d6. 5d6. My bad. I don't think anyone has a d5, but you know.
First, go make a d5.
Yep. 5d6s. Okay, and what I need you to do is just tell me if you get any ones. How many ones you get?
0.
Okay.
Got 2 ones.
Okay. And now I need you to go ahead and make a dexterity, or probably just straight dexterity roll.
The day Fizwick earned his new nickname, 8 Fingers.
Oh no! Oh,
So
it might
straight-
be.
So
Straight
dirty 20.
dexterity.
That was a
Ooh,
bad
dirty
roll.
What did you get,
11.
Fizwick?
11.
Oh, okay. So you just barely made it. For every one you roll, you need 5 on the on the die. And I'm just making this up on the spot. I have no idea, so then it doesn't quite work out. If you think about the the number of, like, if you roll 5 ones, you're basically, well, yeah. Anyway, I guess it does work out. If you rolled 5 ones, you're out of luck. So the first round, both of you, and amazingly, Nikos does not roll any, or does not manages to keep up with Fizwick here just fine. Fizwick actually has a couple close calls. All right, go ahead and roll again, guys.
I want to ask this. I mean, I would know, but Fizwick, what would be for example, what's the decorum on me using a command spell to tell him to give me his knife or drop? But then instead of commanding it through vocally, using my telepathy to do it.
So, are you asking me or Fizwick?
Both. In terms of the world morale, it's like, or if there is any rule preventing it in the first place. Because I wasn't told anything. I was given a knife.
Oh yeah, it's this game where you, like, aliens. We've all seen it. Like, I don't know what the rules are. I think there's maybe some, like, rotation, like you have to hit every spot between your fingers.
Oh, so it's like where you stab your hands.
Yeah.
Yes. In between your fingers.
Yep. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. So you are asking though about how it would be to command use a command spell basically to tell him to drop his knife.
Well, no. If I knew if it was that, I would go miss.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Terrified.
I mean, as the DM, I like the idea.
All right. Look, I'm a wizard. I'm not a rogue. Okay, so I'm not banking on my on a great success here. So I'm gonna use what I have.
If you can pull something off and use magic without me telling that you're not using dexterity, I mean, that's
okay. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna yell at miss. Like, well, not yell at it.
So on our next roll, go ahead and you guys can roll your 5d5 again. And this time we're gonna go any rolls. Tell me how many 2 or 1s you get.
wait, 5d6
Or 5d6.
Okay. I'm new enough. I'm like,
Ones
what?
or 2s? How many 1s or 2s do you get?
You make
I
dice
get
about
1.
this.
1.
I have a 2.
Okay.
I've won 1.
Okay. Go ahead and now roll your dexterity. And you have to get above a 5. So it shouldn't be too hard.
I get a 13.
21.
Wow, okay. But Fizwick, so Michael, you have, how does this work? Does he have to make a wisdom save or no? Is it just straight up work?
Okay, so this is All right. I speak one command word to a creature that I can see within range. Target must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect on the target if they're undead, or if they do not share my common language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. So this is the bit that's kind of like
Yeah.
maybe. Because obviously I don't want him to chop a finger off or anything like that.
Right. Right.
So miss could mean not necessarily to stab his hand, but like he goes wide, or he misses that middle space.
Do you have any other
Somebody
like cantrips that could distract him?
Nothing that everyone in the world wouldn't notice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of him, like, you know, maybe pulling, going too wide where people around might just go, wait a second. You know what I mean?
I was outside the web.
Right. So Fizwick, why don't you go ahead and make that wisdom save? And what's the DC on that, Michael?
Okay, so the DC of this is there we are. 15.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that wisdom save.
By chance, could Fizwick be using his mage hand to enhance his ability?
That probably wouldn't apply here.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wisdom. Okay.
Yep.
15.
Hey,
Oh,
nice.
man. So just
Fizwick
made it.
does not roll higher than he needs. He rolls precisely as he means to.
All right. So, yep, you kind of feel this like maybe intrusion in your mind a little bit, Fizwick, and just kind of like as you're doing the motion, and good, made it.
Fizwick looks up at Nikos.
Oh, Nikos is just staring at him. Like I'm not even looking
You
at
just
my
assume
hand.
something in
You
his
can
head
tell
and
him.
Nikos is here. Gives him a wink.
All right. Fizwick
have
knows a little bit
eyelids?
of magic.
Little nice try,
That's a
bucko.
good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have eyelids. I'll try to wink. I don't know if I have them.
This turns
all right.
into looks like a horrifying grimace.
All right, we're gonna do it again, guys, because no one's messing up. So you guys haven't stabbed a finger yet. So
Yeah.
this time it's 3s and below. You tell me, roll 5 d6s and tell me how many 3s or below you get.
I'm game.
I got a 3.
I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, go ahead and roll your dexterity.
All right, so that
Man, you guys
is
are rolling pretty
Oh,
good on
22.
nice. That's 2 17s.
Okay. So you just roll once, but that's fine. So
Oh, sorry. I thought we rolled if we got a 1, 2, or 3.
right, so basically you roll a d20, and if you get 2, I didn't explain it very well, sorry, partially because I made it up like real fast. But basically, if you get a 1, 2, or 3 on the d6, then you tell me how many. And if you got 4, you would need to roll 20 or higher. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, 20 or higher. If you roll 3, 15 or higher. If you roll 2 of those numbers, then 10 or higher.
Oh, okay. So the DC changes, not the number of checks. Okay.
Right. So that's, and I'm making it a little harder every time here because you guys just keep on doing too well.
Was that
So,
the last roll?
This will not be the last roll. We're not going to stop until someone stabs a finger.
Okay.
Yep. It won't be a maiming injury, I don't think. I'll let you decide that, perhaps.
They should have to make a strength check against their finger bones.
There you go.
Fizwick dips into his pocket and he grabs his flask and he just takes a swig and he
Mhm.
puts it back into his pocket.
Yeah.
And
The-
yeah,
No,
no, that's it. That's what he did. He took
Yeah,
a swig.
nice. Yeah, the crowd, you kind of feel a slap on your back from someone who's like, yeah, you know, and he quaffs a mug of ale, and it sloshes on you a little bit. And, the crowd gathered around is definitely like, yeah, more, and yeah, so more it is, I suppose. Let's all roll our 5d6s. Tell me how many 4s or below you get.
Fizwick
All right.
takes the substance in
Ooh.
his mouth and he just spits it onto the top of the knife a little bit and Fizwick tries to use control flame to light just the top of his dagger hilt on fire.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
on fire?
Sure. You managed.
So when he does his performance, there's
Wow. Yeah, and the eyes like whoa. All right. So go
Hold
ahead.
on,
and roll
hold
your
on.
f-
Well, I'm not
5d6s.
gonna shut up. Okay, hold on. As I see that, and this will probably explain what happens to me. And this is purely aesthetic. I would like to take a seat. Like I imagine I'm across from Fizwick rather than
yep.
next to him. I'm gonna move across a little bit just so that I don't have anyone near me. So I tell everyone to just stand back for a second. And what I'm gonna use the sword burst spell to create a multitude of
Fizwick.
daggers swirling around me. And I want to basically just have them just like almost like swan dive, like just on each side of my hand while I keep it steady.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a 5-foot radius of swirling blades that are just hitting the table. Now I failed 4 times, which, like I said, will probably explain why, why this happened.
Trying to get pretty fancy there. Got to keep up with
Yeah,
Fizwick's flaming dagger after all.
Yeah, that was an awesome flaming dagger trick, and he's just like, I'll show you. All right.
get that wink
All right.
again in that.
So you
grimace.
had 4 failures, Michael?
4 failures.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your dexterity save.
20? Non-natural?
That is enough. That is exactly enough. Yeah.
Wow.
So for every one, you have to
Is
get
that
a 5.
table
so.
still in one piece, or is
Ooh,
it?
man, the crowd at this point is like every single person in this inn is gathered around this game, and cheering, just whoa, and this little wayfish kid who first challenged Fizwick to a couple silver here is just standing there like in the front row. Kind of getting pressed up against the table as people are crowding around more. All right. We're going to make another roll here, so go ahead and roll your 5d6s.
This time is Fizwick's doing his performance of one-upsmanship, and he's going.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did Fizwick roll his?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait, do I do
My
the
bad.
roll and then?
Yeah, so you got 2 failures, right?
I got another one.
No, I mean on your last
On
one.
this last one, I rolled a 2.
Okay. So you got
Only had
1, 2. So you only got one roll
2.
below a 4? Or 4?
Yeah, then
4 or lower.
4s and 5s were the rest.
Okay, so if it's 4, then you also have to count it. 4s or lower on this one, so it increases every time.
On this one.
Nope, on the one Michael just did, now I'm having you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to Michael first. So you got a 2, but how many 4s did you get?
I would have more of those than 5s. So.
Okay, so.
I think there's only maybe 1 5, I would say.
Okay, so then you also have to roll and get a 20.
On my dexterity.
Yes.
Okay. Did I lose my trick because I didn't understand the game?
No.
No, it doesn't matter now. Fizwick reconsiders his idea because it wouldn't be as cool now. He rolled a
Well,
6.
Your flaming dagger nicks a finger, and you pull back, realizing, that swig from that flask must have done you in, slowed you down just enough to nick a finger.
As he pulls his flaming dagger back, does he also light one of his eyebrows on fire? Burn it clean off.
And amazingly, Nikos is being, congratulated for winning this round of stabby knife game.
Do they hoist him aloft and carry him
Somehow.
around the room?
Yeah, he's hoisted aloft slightly, and the guy
I yell at everyone, no, wait, the spell's not done.
The guy who first high-fived Fizwick is now, sort of like puts a hand on his shoulder. That was some trick there, little one. That flaming blade. What you drinking there?
Oh, it's oil.
Oh,
It's just pig fat in a cup.
that explains it. and he kind of walks off with the rest of them congratulating Nikos. But the young boy who was left there at the table now pulls out his dagger and is just kind of slowly, clumsily, and he's just kind of looking at Fizwick like, I can't. And, yeah. So.
Fizwick collects 50 gold pieces, right? From Nikos, correct?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, that's what didn't he step up? Or
He did,
or
but
somebody lost,
Nikos
or I
won.
lost. I lost.
Mhm.
Shit, that's right.
Lost.
So,
He's really
Nikos
drinking
collect-
too much of that oil.
Yeah.
Let's go through the rules of gambling one more time.
Drinks should not have chunks.
so much fun though. So go ahead and add yours. I'm gonna take away my.
Oh man,
That's
Fizwick.
it.
Nikos was paying careful attention last time. Fizwick kind of killed it at this game here. He must have been taking some notes.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You know, Nikos isn't actually that. I mean, he's not like, you know, max stat and dex, but he's not a pushover when it comes to his dexterity. That's why I was a little bit more confident. Plus, I thought I'd cheat. But
Did you
but
cheat?
he will say,
Because it's more fun if you did. I think it's more fun if you did. Like,
yeah, you know, and I loved the performance too. Like the fact that Nikos is like, because he's such a miser, Nikos.
Yeah.
And you know what? As soon as Fizwick does this, he sees two opportunities. One is he can't logistically win because it'll turn the crowd against him if he wins after Fizwick does the flaming thing. So he has to one-up it somehow, even if it makes it more difficult to him. And both ways, it brings people in. So that's what he's looking at. So yeah, he'll give Fizwick a handshake and he'll say, "This is why I'd much rather be on this side of the table when we're fighting."
well, I had a good time anyways. And Fizwick just holds up a huge bag of gold.
Gold.
Which hand do you shake and how hard do you squeeze it?
I'll squeeze his left hand with my left hand.
The
So,
dirty one.
how does Nikos react to, at least briefly, being lifted off the ground and hoisted up, and kind of crowd gathering around you and slapping you on the back?
I'll say, because I imagine that there's still some people here who have come to pick up their stuff and not drink or imbibe and stuff like that. I'll say, for the next 10 minutes, drinks at 50%.
Whoa! Ah! And there's a lot of,
The two women behind the
people
bar go,
heading to the
wait,
bar.
wait, what?
Yeah, they are kind of scratching their heads like, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the part of what Fizwick's paid to supplement that 50% 10-minute break.
Yep, excellent. Yeah, so they definitely are like, oh, thank you. They look relieved.
It's a promotion. It's like, you know, 10 minutes and then everyone gets in hard for the next 10 minutes, and then some people are like, oh, we missed it, but you know what? Now I'm really thirsty, and then
Fizwick wants to see if he can take advantage of this drunken stupor everybody's in. Does he see anybody in here that looks a little bit more noble than the rest, or a little fancy?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you wanted to work the crowd a bit in that way, that could also be
absolutely.
good. Yeah. So why don't you just
This
go
is
ahead
all my plan
and
from the beginning. Get him drunk, have
Yeah.
him spend my money that I lost, and I'll steal it all back.
why don't you go ahead and make a sleight of hand check, and depending on how you do, maybe we'll determine how many pockets you pick.
What time of day is it? Too
Man,
bad.
what? Yeah, what?
It's evening.
6, man.
Okay. So you managed to pilfer like 2 gold from someone. You find a noble whose pocket you managed to pick. Yes, a wealthier looking person.
What?
The
Bummer.
rest are pretty, aware, maybe a little too aware of their surroundings, or maybe you find some empty pockets. That's probably more likely, actually.
One of them had gum in it.
All right, Clay. There's, a man walks up to you and says, "Oh, you're pretty strong looking there, but what do you say to a little arm wrestling? I got a gold piece on it, huh?"
Not interested.
Ah, I'm gonna keep trying. Keep getting this one drinks. And he walks away.
You can try.
Gruckvar, what are you doing in the fray here?
I'm in the crowd of people that's raucous over the show that just went on at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see that guy get turned away from Clay, I say, "Hey, soldier, what do you say? You wanna wrestle with me?"
Oh, I'll take you. And he plops right down at the nearest table.
Are we
puts a
arm
gold-
wrestling or wrestling?
Arm wrestling. Puts a
I
gold
totally
coin on the
missed
table.
the whole context of this, and I was like, "What?"
That's
believe-
coming up. We're working our way up to that. All right.
I believe it's pronounced wrestling.
Yeah.
Somebody get the
That's
mud
true.
pit out.
Yeah.
So he plops down a gold coin and sits down, ready to go. Ready, Gruckvar?
All right. I throw down a gold coin next to his.
He
And
jumps up on a table first, and he gets some more fire. He wants to use his control flames
Mhm.
at the nearest torch, and he puts up like a small group of dancing people, of goblins standing around Gruckvar, just dancing and cheering, dancing and cheering.
And
They're all
made
little
of
flame sprites.
made of flame in the shape of little
Yeah,
goblins.
yeah, and they're just kind of dancing around you and cheering, and
And
Or
yeah,
do
the
you-
crowd begins to take notice of the arm
Can
wrestling
you
competition.
keep them from setting other things on fire when you do that?
we'll find out because they're there now.
Rule of cool. Yes.
This was Nikos' shortest business venture.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, no. I'll definitely tell them to get like 4 buckets of water ready and just like keep it behind the counter.
Yeah, they do so.
Clay does actually, he walks up to the table. He is intrigued by this
Yeah.
proposition. It's just not really his scene.
Yeah.
The goblins are reflecting that Clay is here, and they're like bending over, and they're going boo and stuff like that.
I use control water to pull some water out of a pitcher and put one up my mouth. I'm just like,
Nice.
All right, let's go ahead and make our opposed strength rolls here, Alex.
Okay.
Just doing a straight up opposed strength roll.
Oof.
I-
That's a
Go
5 for me.
All right. Let's do this. Let's do best of 3 so we can do a little bit of sort of
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Okay, so he rolled a 7. All right, let's try again.
All right.
Ooh.
12.
All right. He goes one way, and then boom, we're back to the middle now. All right,
Okay.
here we go. This could take a while. Maybe my rules are faulty.
22.
Oh man, that's enough to take him boom boom almost all the way down. One more success and you got him. Let's
Okay.
roll again.
12.
Oh, he got 13. We're back up to almost halfway.
Okay.
All right, and again.
10.
All right, he got a 9, so we're back down to almost you winning.
Okay.
And the next one.
8.
Oh man, we're back.
Are we back to the
Just
middle?
back and forth. He's just not going down. It's just we're not quite back up to middle. All right, roll again. Oh gosh, please beat this one. It's a 5.
11.
Yeah. Okay. So he's almost down. This time, you've almost got him. Really, almost got him this time.
5.
He rolled a 12. And this is ridiculous. My rules are faulty. We should have gone with 2, but oh well. We're
I
sticking
thought
with
you were
it.
going to say you rolled a natural 20 there with the look on your face.
No, it was it was not that good. But it
21.
okay. 17. You got him. And one more. 6.
14.
Finally, the guy would not go down, and he's finally.
Now that was hard fought.
Grabs his ale, all down his red beard. He says, "You earned it."
All right, Gruckvar slams his hand out over those 2 gold coins now, pockets them, jumps up on the table and says, "All right, Fizwick, let's wrestle." with our full bodies.
Fizwick rips off his fucking shirt and he takes some of his oil and he rubs it all. He's ready to go.
I push the benches and the tables out of the way in front of the fireplace to make kind of a clearing on the ground. And
Fizwick's stacking some chairs up. He's ready to go. He's got no shirt on and oil all over his body.
Yeah, Allie and Corey are like worriedly like moving chairs. Like, all right.
Fizwick, why don't you take your little goblin fire fellas and make a ring around our wrestling area?
So Fizwick sets up his control flames and then wipes off some of the oil off of his body. And then just a little bit and sets up 10 little, can I do 10? Screw it, we're doing 10, roll cool, right? 10 little goblin sprites jumping all around.
Okay.
A circle and a ring, doing almost a tribal chant.
Okay. Okay.
All right, very good.
Now, what would the rules to this be? Just a traditional strength test, or what?
Yeah, we'll just
strength contest.
Nikos is gonna chime in at this point and say, if you gotta just take it outside.
Yeah, and Corey actually say like, yes, I think outside might be a little bit better, Master Fizwick.
We got the crowd going here, Nikos. We got people excited.
I'm kind of looking at two. I'm looking at more than one demographic here. I'm not looking at the drunken fools that are jumping around with you guys. I'm looking at the awkward people who are trying not to get into a bar fight with a goblin and a Duragar in the center of it. So the front.
There's not much room to drink and gather if we made a wrestling ring out of the middle of the tavern.
That's
Please, I think this is bad for business, Corey says.
Just this once. Give us one round.
All right, you've got 30 seconds.
All right, Fizwick,
You better throw the match if it's not over.
Okay. All right, Fizwick, let's go.
All right, let's just make an opposed strength roll. We'll keep it quick this time.
Yeah, okay.
Wrong one. This is gonna be bad.
18.
Oh, 4.
Okay, without too much trouble, Fizwick is squirming every time Grukvar grabs him, just out, and then eventually you get a hold on his ankle as he's trying to climb on top of you, and just pull him back under you, and you've got him pinned. Okay. And the crowd cheers, and a couple people have walked out the door, but there's a lot more excited people headed to the bar. So.
Okay, we don't have to continue rolling die here, but I challenge anyone who wants to wrestle me and outside, and then I head outside to.
Yeah, there's definitely a few takers, and as you leave, a few of the more concerned patrons are definitely starting to find seats again and feeling a little more at ease.
Okay.
Fizwick follows this fight club that has just started.
Meet me under that glowing northern light.
As you guys head out with a small crowd of brawny folk, there's a woman who says, "Tell us a tale of your adventure, Nikos, Clay, please." And you begin to see Allie, kind of wave you over to the fireplace and hold out a chair. Yes.
Nikos. I'm Clay. Clay will actually go and sit down by the fire and start talking to the few people that have gathered there.
Okay. And Nikos, do you go as well?
Nikos will. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, a crowd gathers. They're pretty interested in hearing what happened at the Duergar outpost, and I'm not going to make you guys retell the whole story. But what I would like you to do is we'll do like a group performance check here with just the two of you.
Dark and stormy night. Performance, oh boy. Ooh, 18.
Nice.
22.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So Nikos, I don't know. How do you guys imagine this goes? Like I imagine Clay is not going to be the most eloquent person, but maybe he almost uses his body to like accentuate certain parts of the story, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think he would sit and drink from his mug as he just sort of like point by point recounts it, like almost as if you were like telling the story to a superior officer or ship's captain.
Mhm.
But if there are children there, he would certainly, give them a wink every now and again and sort of like not necessarily not like play it up or whatever, but make the scary part sound just a little bit scary.
Yeah,
You mean
nice.
children in the pub?
This is
Yeah, I
Well,
imagine there might be some like,
a tavern or it's an inn.
11-year-olds here in the inn.
That is Europe.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
While
Nikos.
Clay's doing this, Nikos is going to. Nikos has different skills. Nikos is his charisma doesn't really come from his eloquence as much as it comes from his force of personality. Like he is definitely like when he speaks, there's a confidence. When he moves, there's a confidence. He's going to do the same thing, but he's going to turn his attention to being a host in the inn. So I'm going to almost surreptitiously, like as the story goes on, they're just constantly being well fed, well, provided for their drinks and refreshments, like as much as the story is going through. They're just getting the star treatment, as it were, for people who are like listening to the story of that's Clay's telling.
Yeah, very nice. I love it. And yeah, I imagine that just as you just have the perfect sense of kind of what where people are at with their mug of ale or whatever, and are able to get a few more coin out of people because of this. And Clay, I imagine, yeah, as you're telling the story, it's not too hard to imagine Clay giving like a convincing growl for one of the Duergar, or kind of standing a little bit tall to show like they're growing, and people kind of like cowering under you as you do this, to make those scary parts a little scarier. The crowd is enraptured in the tale, and the night begins to fade. Fizwick, Grukvar, definitely earned, we'll say, 3 more gold outside, mostly in silver, because these folk are mostly poor from the wrestling. And Corey and Allie look very pleased as people begin to leave for the night, and they're kind of just smiling at the bar, greeting, saying goodbye to people. And the music has died down. The fire is low in the hearth, and a warmth fills the air as people say goodnight.
As people do leave, a very unfamiliar thing happens, and Clay smiles more than just the upturned lips. He doesn't, it's not like his teeth are showing or anything, but there is a very pleased, very sort of carefree look that finds his face for a few moments as people are leaving the tavern.
Yeah, nice. Good. Well, anything else you guys want to do as people are leaving, or would you head up to your rooms for the night?
I'm sweating bullets. I'm ready to hit the sack.
Take a shower first.
I will.
I'll debrief the staff. I want to ask the GM, the awesome, wonderful, and amazing GM. So I have the background skill of being a noble, and as being a noble, I am entitled to some retainers. Can I transform the tavern folks into my retainers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly for you, I would imagine there will be no friendlier a crowd that you've met so far, especially given your odd look. That there's finally maybe a bit of acceptance here. So I think that would make sense. Yep, if that's part of the noble background. Now, how does that work exactly?
All right, so because of my position of privilege, which I'm kind of going with a partner of a tavern, yada, yada, yada. You have the service of 3 retainers loyal to me and my family. They can be attendants, messengers, or a major domo. Retainers are commoners who perform mundane tasks for me. They do not fight for me, and they will not follow me into obvious dangerous areas, and will leave as frequently as they are endangered or abused.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that you probably just met some people tonight and formed some of those relationships that
Sweet.
these are people that you can call on, to, yes, deliver a message, to, to run an errand of some sort. Absolutely.
Huzzah!
Cool.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Yay!
And you didn't have to butter me up for that, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it. No, because I think it'd be also very, very good if, for example, we needed to deliver messages between the towns if we weren't necessarily the ones who had to go and do it all the time. So that's kind of one of the reasons why. So
Even, I would say, probably gather some of your earnings here from the Northern Light to bring them to wherever you are.
Oh, can you send them up
Yeah.
to find out about the beer or whatever the hops the lady can't get or the limes or?
That'd be a
Oh.
very long journey.
no. I think with that, Nikos would want to personally take care of it because he imagines, or at least I, the player, imagine the chef to be like this very, what do you mean that we are out of limes? I can't work in these harsh conditions. I will refuse. You cannot meet my standards. And then have Nikos come over and be like, you should come work for me. So I want to go do that myself rather than have a messenger do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. As the fire fades in the hearth, you guys head up to your rooms, and we are going to take a short break and come back in the morning, aka 5-ish minutes. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. I guess before I go, I'll just give a quick shout out for a couple things. Remember, Hero Forge is our sponsor. They help make these games possible. So thanks so much to Hero Forge. Check them out, heroforge.com. So much cool stuff. One particular cool thing I realized they have now is they actually do have 3D printed miniatures in a variety of materials, including metal.
Mhm.
And I saw a picture that they actually had where you can put a ring on one. They actually had, like, you can make a miniature earring. You could make your character into an earring. I thought that was pretty crazy. Christmas ornaments, I saw them doing, even with that. There's just so many cool things you can do with Hero Forge. So,
Do you know that you can now add lighting to your miniature as well?
ooh, yeah. So like
So,
a secondary light source.
Well, yeah, so you can have like your character with a torch light, and then the light will glow from the torch
Oh,
onto the
I
mini,
like
and
that.
you'll have the tonal shifts and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, super cool. So tons of cool stuff that they're constantly adding. So heroforge.com. And then I will also say, check out Darksea Workshop. We'll do should we roll for it right after the break? Is that cool? Or do you want to roll for it now?
Let's just do it now.
Let's just do it now. What the heck?
Do it
Okay.
now.
So Darksea Workshop, if you don't know, Will is getting ready to roll. He sells this guy, the craftsman, right here in his lab, cooks up awesome stuff, jewelry, working on dice. You can get D20 pendants, beautiful stuff. You'll see some pictures during the break. And is this a credit? The winner will get a credit
You
to
can
Darksea
go
Workshop?
to the shop right now and you can pick out any of the dice necklaces and I'll give you a credit. I think that's how it's going to work. If that doesn't work, I'll just get your address from you. And the winner will just message me on Darksea Workshop and say, hey, I won.
Your Facebook, I assume?
We have the Darksea Workshop Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And
All right.
we have equally cut pages here.
Nice.
And
Yep.
Timothy Holstad, I think. Timothy, you can go ahead and pick any necklace you like out there
Sweet.
that are the dice necklaces, and message me on Facebook, and we'll get that sent out.
Congratulations, Timothy.
Congratulations.
Woo, woo. I saw him in the chat earlier, so maybe he's still here. Yeah.
Does he have
super
to be
cool.
present to win?
No, he does not. He just has to message Master Fizwick over at Darksea Workshop on Facebook. Cool. Well, yeah, check out Darksea Workshop. Awesome stuff. Support a independent craftsman who's doing his thing. Thanks, Will, for doing the giveaway here.
Thank you.
Very generous of you. And then also want to encourage people to check out Dead Aussie Gamer. Michael, anything in particular going on with you lately, or you're doing all kinds of streams? I know.
Oh man, always doing all kinds of streams. I've got a new stream on Wednesdays. For the Americans, it's bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard, where I'm actually playing Curse of Strahd, or at least my take of Curse of Strahd. It's a lot of fun. It's a very interesting cast of people who are my Patreons, because Patreons get to come play with me as a GM. So that's a lot of fun. And we're now into book 2 of Rise of the Rune Lords on Sundays. So that is also exciting. We've had to, if you haven't had a chance to, go to my YouTube page, Dead Aussie Gamer Live, and watch the latest episode. There were tears, there was emotions. It's pretty full on. I'm not going to spoil anything for those people who haven't caught up, but yeah, oh wow, it was a whole thing. And then Saturdays I play Winds of Wilderon, which is my Robin Hood, the Disney version inspired adventure, where a bunch of anthropomorphized animal people are trying to defend their home against some mammoths.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember that from the cartoon, but great.
Yeah, well, that's because it's inspired. And
This is the Michael version.
yeah, and I mean, Loxodons are great, and I love the idea that they're like all these sages and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, mine are Vikings.
Yeah.
With axes, and they swing their heavy trunks and shoot crossbows into buildings. Because why not?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of RPGs. Make it so. All right. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. We're going to take a short break and be back in a few minutes. See ya.
See you soon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back, I should say. Welcome us back, would you please? Pretty please. Sorry we were gone so long. We were having some good discussion. But the game is on. We're going to play for another hour or so, probably here. And where last we left our party, they had gone to sleep at the Northern Light Inn in Caer Konig. And a night of revelry, fun, and a bit wealthier for the taking as well. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to have you guys roll a group check just to see. And I guess let me actually pull out. Where did the book go? I got this.
He's going to the archives.
I'm prepared. Fully prepared. Okay. Nope, not waterborne vehicles, Nate. That's not what we're looking for.
Woo, we all get sea-doos.
Everybody's happy on a jet ski.
Well, I can't find it, but let's just do this. Everyone go ahead and roll a d20, and let's see what we get. It's just a luck roll.
9.
3.
6.
1.
We're all very sleepy.
The party gets, we'll say, 3 gold from the night, a little cut of the profits from the night that Ali and Corey kind of push across the counter for you.
The
Say-
party gets 3 gold?
The party.
I'm
gets 3
half-
gold.
I'm half thinking, I'm like, where's the rest of it? And then we look around and there's like scorch marks on the floor. Some of the tables have been broken, pushed aside. There's like a table that's basically just filled with tiny dagger holes like all over it. It's just like,
And a whole bunch of
Okay.
sword holes, thanks to
yeah, exactly. No one's innocent here. It's just, all right, fair play. All right, no worries. Let's just take
All
the 3
right.
gold.
Which of us is going to come up short with these gold? Which one of us doesn't
I'm
get
happy to.
one?
I'm happy to pass on this. I also look at this as an unequivocal windfall from the 50 gold I made off Fizwick.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, and-
I'll abstain.
Covering the drinks, probably, from that 50 gold was maybe like, I don't know, 3 gold. They're not going to be
7
terribly
silver,
expensive.
5 copper for each.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. That's perfectly fine.
So, yeah, not the most profitable night because of, and Ali probably says, if any eyebrows are raised, she says, from the profits. And yes, kind of goes like this across the room. But it's something. Trust me, for us, this is really good. Yeah. Anything else you guys would like to do here? Okay, so let me go back a little bit. You guys do remember receiving a note or retrieving a note from the office of Nildar Sunblight that had said, well, let me read the exact wording, actually. Why not? Brother, you will find me on the frozen ferry in Easthaven. From this new base, the search for chardalyn continues. Long may our father reign over this dark land. Dearth. And that is kind of the last note you had. You also saw one from Zardarok Sunblight himself, the chief, the father, that basically said something to the effect of, we are doing great things. Let me see here. Oh yes, you would hardly understand the glory of what we have found in the ice. It's amazing, but continue your quest. Find more. You will, the people of 10 Towns will soon learn. Sorry, I'm mincing my words here too much. The people of 10 Towns will soon learn as terror is unleashed. Their doom soars on dragon's wings.
So we don't know where or what ice they're talking about.
So you could probably surmise that they're looking for chardalyn.
Right, but he said that they found something in the ice.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no clue where that is.
So yeah, I think he's talking about. Sorry, I didn't make that very clear. He's talking about like the chardalyn they're finding in the ice, and
Okay.
he's asking him to continue his quest looking for more.
But we don't know where they've looked and where they've found them.
Yeah, not really. You know, they obviously had stolen some things from Caer Konig here, and you went to their fortress, and you now know that one of the brothers is in Easthaven. So, you guys see the map here. Whereabouts would you like to go? Would you like to head to Easthaven, or do you have business you need to take care of anywhere else?
What if we head to Easthaven and stop in at Caer Konig so we can check in on that chef?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Easthaven was where we heard about the other things as well, right? Or was that Bremen, where the young man who's missing? He was from Bremen, right?
Yeah, he was from Bremen. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you mentioned things to us happening in Easthaven outside of the dearth.
Yes, there is also Avarice, the white tiefling you met actually right here in the Northern Light, who seems to know Fizwick a little bit. She had mentioned that the Darksea Workshop was gathering folk, the Society was gathering its followers in Easthaven for something big.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say we check out Easthaven if sounds like all signs are pointing there at least.
Yeah, and we'll swing past Caer Konig just en route.
Yep. Excellent. Okay, so you guys get your axe beaks retrieved from the stable here. You have 2 axe beaks, I believe, and you head out to Caer Konig. As you are crossing the not road.
Oh, sorry. Just real quick before we leave.
Oh yes.
Do I notice that Clay doesn't have the shard on his spear anymore?
Yeah, I mean you probably would. Was it tied to your spear?
Yeah, it was tied to the haft of my spear. I'm not trying to hide it. My spear just, it's draped across my back.
Yeah.
Looking at it, Nikos will say, Clay, do you have the chardalyn with you?
I've taken care of it. It's somewhere safe. I felt it not the best idea to keep it on my person.
Why is this?
If it's as dangerous as we say, and there are many people looking for it, I just assume keep it in a safe place.
If there are people looking for it, won't they simply find it the same way they found the others?
Not where I put it.
So they wouldn't be able to use magical detections or anything to try and find it. You've warded it against such things?
If that's the way that they're using, if that's how they're attempting to find it, I suppose that they would find it.
Perhaps instead we should keep it with us, and that way if someone is looking for it, they will likely come to us, including, of course, with information of how they are tracking it, and maybe even some more of the chardalyn themselves.
Nate, do we know, have we gotten any indication that they are sort of delving for this, or are they not delving, divining for it, or are they does it seem like they're just sort of finding a place and trying it?
Yeah, I mean you probably wouldn't have any indication either way on that.
But I would know that a cursory detect magic can pick this thing up.
So it's not magical itself, rather it receives magic very easily. Like it is a very easy object to enchant. Yeah.
Clay, was your concern that we're corruptible and it could cause us?
No, he was saying he was worried that if someone was coming looking for it, that they would come to us. I suggest that is perhaps exactly what we're looking for. Is if people are looking for it and they do come to us. Otherwise, if they come to it while we're not there, then we have no means of defending it. or protecting it.
However, if it's not magical itself, there's very little chance that they're going to be able to.
Well, they found it in the first place,
Out.
and we don't know how they've done so.
That is true. If you would feel more comfortable hanging on to it, we can bring it along.
Oh, I'd feel more comfortable it being in the vicinity. I don't care who carries it, but in terms of leaving it behind in Caer Konig, that I don't necessarily feel overly comfortable with.
What do other people think?
Nikos is really the expert on the arcane arts, and if he'd rather have it on a person, my prime concern is if it has a malign influence of any kind, and if it doesn't on its own, then it's of no concern to me. I figure we might as well have it on us so we can have someone analyze it when we find someone who's a specialist.
I would nominate myself to hold it. I will take it.
Except
I
I'm
think
the only one. I'm the only one in the party that can hold it, right? As far as we know.
We don't know.
So player-wise,
Yeah.
that was the wild assumption Nikos made when we found out the property of it was that it was like a sponge that soaked out magic. We didn't know how, because of how powerful this thing is, we don't know what capacity that could be. Touching it, for example, could range from doing absolutely nothing all the way through to permanently removing magic from a spellcaster. We don't know. So clay is the safest. Fizwick is probably the second safest. And Nikos and Grokvar are probably the most vulnerable, as it were.
Why don't we stay the course that we set before us earlier and have you continue to carry it in your bendel, Clay?
Okay.
Like they said, put it in your bundle.
So I mean, as long as it's clear that I am not necessarily keen on painting a target on my back.
You're not out here alone, Clay. We're with you.
Yes, and I would definitely sooner see that this entire city be razed before any harm comes to you or the artifact.
But don't be a wuss.
I kick Fizwick and then without a word walk toward my hiding spot.
Kind of like grunts like a little animal when he gets hit.
Like when I accidentally kick my dog in the dark. I never do that.
Sorry.
Strike that from the record.
Okay, so
I go and retrieve it, but I'm going to it doesn't seem smart for me to keep it attached to the pole, even though that's a way to keep it away from my body. So
Why don't you put it on the X-beak?
That seems less secure. Depending on where the axe beak goes. I mean, if we're gonna keep it on our quote unquote person the whole time,
Tie it around his neck like a necklace.
Or put it in your backpack? I mean,
my
maybe we're
Jansport.
overthinking this, perhaps, maybe, Clay. Leave the
Maybe.
thinking to those of us with the capacity. Just put it in your backpack. We should be fine.
All right, I'll tuck it in my bag, my little traveler's pack.
If something is strong enough to rip it from your backpack, slay you and the rest of us, then I feel like at that point it's earned it. Okay, it's fine.
yeah, okay.
Right?
Cool.
Like we're dead. It's not our problem at that point.
I was picturing the spear thing, and I was picturing accidentally throwing that spear and forgetting about
With
it,
it on
and me
there.
just being a total dick DM and being like, sorry.
You miss and it goes in the lake. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Please do not throw the artifact.
So you guys want to head out on the road here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So as
On the
you
road
are,
again?
yeah, as you are taking your leave and some of the town folk do come out, and they, kind of have heard that you're leaving, and there are some waves, some handshakes, and things of that nature. Definitely, the townsfolk seem very grateful for your help, and even more than that, perhaps, seem to have enjoyed hanging out with you last night in the Northern Light Inn. So as you take your leave, they kind of stand outside the town watching you go. And I'll drag our little red dot on the map here. You guys get to about here, and you hear off in the bushes
The
a
ripping sound,
rustling.
it plays back.
a rustling and kind of a little squeaking as well.
Fizwick wants to try to dash and hide in the nearest bushes as well.
Okay. Yeah, you're up a little ledge, and you do find like some bushes, and you can just see over the ledge, Fizwick, two little white fur balls, and these, you would probably be able to tell, are
Dribbles.
owlbear cubs. Two small owlbear cubs,
Hmm.
probably about the size of a small dog. Okay.
So
what would you like to do,
Fizwick,
Fizwick.
Fizwick wants to look around and see if he sees any immediate tracks in the area, that there's not just two cubs around, and just see if he can sense Mama in anywhere.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check.
6.
Yeah, I mean, you're enamored by these cubs. They look adorable.
Fizwick
No,
looks
they're the
back at
size of
party,
you.
and he looks at the cubs, the party, the cubs. And Fizwick
Are they polar owlbears?
Yeah, so these are snowy owlbears. Yeah, so basically a polar bear owlbear combo. Yep. And you would probably be familiar, as people who have been in Icewind Dale, that these are in the area. Perhaps you've never seen one yourself. I don't know, but Fizwick, I imagine, has seen some owlbears of various kind. But what's your marching order, guys? I know Fizwick has kind of left. He's up on the ledge a little bit more. How about the rest of you?
I'm still on an axe beak.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on foot, so I imagine I'd be sort of in the back.
Okay.
But we all have heard the squeaking.
Yes, you all have heard the squeaking. That is correct.
Fizwick uses his little sending stone that he's got to tell Nikos. Nikos is the two cutest things up here. You wouldn't believe it. There's two of them, and they're white and they're fluffy, and they're so, oh my gosh. There's two owlbear cubs up here.
Okay. So a couple of things here. Me, the player. There are two schools of thought for the arcane in regards to owlbears. Number one is that, oh my god, some mad wizard combined an owl with a bear and let it loose in the world, and it has now caused this horrible, violent creature to be wandering around with a penchant to hating the arcanists. The second is these things make excellent and absolutely excellent bodyguards if you can grab them, tame them, train them, etc., etc., etc. What type of owlbears do I feel Icewind Dalian owlbears would fit into the category?
I would
Too
say-
wild to tame, or
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're definitely not a common thing that people tame, but you have heard of such things,
Okay.
perhaps. And so it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. And I would also say they're definitely not like any kind of magical construction, but rather a natural predator of Icewind Dale.
all right. I'm going to dismount from the axe beak and take from my satchel a couple of the smoked knucklehead trout. I'm going to beckon Fizwick over and say, Fizwick, look, either Mummy's very close, or we can try to grab these and take them with us. If you can tame them, one of these is for you. And I'll hand him 3 very big, meaty, juicy knucklehead trout.
Oh, I would like to do this. Let's give it a go.
I'm going to look at Grugvar and Clay quietly while Fizwick's away and go, we might want to make some distance.
Yeah, aren't these 3 things that are together now kind of all the same size?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how big's a cub?
He
So
did.
they're-
name
Oh,
us-
I don't think they're not as big as Fizwick.
think
Fizwick's
the
not
Owlbear.
microscopic. I mean, he's a what, like
Yeah.
3 feet tall or something?
Right, but if they're the size of a medium-sized dog,
Yeah, but I tamed
That's
the
not 3
polar
feet
bear.
tall.
Remember that part? The polar bear?
What's that?
I tamed the polar bear.
You did.
I think I tamed 2 of them, didn't I?
Well, tamed, but yeah, I mean, calmed
yeah.
it down enough so
I-
it didn't,
is
it didn't
Fizwick-
affect you.
Oh,
Is Fizwick over by us now? Or did
No, he's over
Nico
by the
he's up on
bushes
the
with
ridge.
the owlbears.
Yeah.
I'm gonna creep over there and I'm gonna say,
No, don't. Okay, no, I don't stop you. I'm just muttering.
do we need another responsibility? We've got enough things on our hands as it is, don't you think?
well, don't be a stick in the mud. And he wanders off to go get the owlbears. At this point, one person doing it
Fizwick, you're gonna have to feed and walk them. It's not gonna be me.
looks back.
Clay is secretly wishing for or picturing in his head riding an owlbear in around town.
Look, if you're talking.
Oh, the video
Sorry,
just went
guys.
off. There.
Yeah. Sorry.
We lost someone.
I need to
can't
figure
see
out
you
how
guys. Where did you
to.
go?
Well, I'll put this in the chat for you guys, and then I'll go back to not seeing the chat because the chat screws everything up.
All right.
Here we go.
Hold on, I can.
Okay.
There we go.
So we'll go ahead and load up Owlbear Rodeo here, and speaking of riding owlbears,
Man, I didn't put 3 points of wisdom or 2 points in tonight for nothing.
okay. So and as Fizwick, so I'll let you guys kind of position yourselves. The road is like back here, and you've all kind of so the road is probably just at the edge of. I'm sorry, I should use the pointer thing. Here we go. The road is back here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can all. Oh, and I forgot the thing is not live updating here. Let me see. Sorry.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be. What, somewhere like up here or something?
Okay, so let's see if that works now. There we go. Yes, so the
Okay.
road is over here. There we go. Now the viewers can see it too. And yeah, you can position yourselves where you would like to.
I'm going to loosely tie the axe beak here to that tree.
Yep, the ice peaks are the leaves. Yep, good.
Yep. And I'll stand in front of what did I call this axe beak? Peppermint?
I don't remember.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
call it peppermint.
I'm gonna take your lead though, and I'm gonna bring this axe beak over here and tie them to this tree.
Yep. Okay, so Fizwick, as you are walking over, a huge white blaze streaks across the air towards you, and everyone go ahead and roll initiative. My owlbear rolled a 19 on its stealth check.
Wow,
25.
19.
I got a 19 as well.
All right.
But you know what? I think you should put Fizwick ahead of me because he's right up in the action.
Okay. That's fair
11.
enough.
I have
All right.
stepped in it now.
Okay, so sorry. So Fizwick, then Grukvar, and then Ryan. You got a little higher than that, right?
I got 25.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I think I said I wanted to hide. I don't know if I'm hidden. I think I'm hidden, right? Or
Well, it definitely. I mean, you're out in the open, so.
Okay.
I guess.
yeah. There's no. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There I am.
And let's see, Ryan, Fizwick, Grukvar, and then. Oh yeah, I should probably roll for the owlbear too. Okay. We'll go. All right. So. Very good. All right, let us begin. So the owlbear streaks through the air from behind this tree here and silently moves toward Fizwick, and it is going to miss its first slash, and it is going to now kind of rear around, and it has multi-attack, so it will miss that one too. So that is the only jump the owlbear gets on Fizwick. Fizwick, how do you maneuver to avoid being hit by this giant feather ball?
It's to kind of just duck down into the snow and just turns into almost a little rolling ball to just Sonic his Hedgehog his way out.
Yeah.
But
So
he's still tumbling. He's not a ball. You can still he's kind of gracefully rolling through the snow.
Yeah, absolutely. So it misses you the first time, just barely slashing out at you with its claw,
Barely.
and then as it kind of turns around and tries to, do that,
On the
you just
second
kind of,
one, the claw hits the ground, and Fizwick runs up the claw, and then jumps off its back.
All right. Yeah, you go for it.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Very good. That brings us to Clay is at the top of the order here. Clay,
Great.
you've seen this big owlbear
Are
streaking
these
across an attack.
5 foot?
Yes,
square?
these are 5 foot squares. Yep.
Okay. So I'm actually, whoa, he got big.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run up to Fizwick. I see him there. I'm gonna grab him by whatever I can grab him by. That is 20, and I'm gonna back so I'm assuming that would be my action, right? To grab him and then pull him back 5 feet.
Yeah, although he is engaged with the owlbear, so the owlbear would get an opportunity to attack. You probably feel that would be a little bit risky.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, okay, so I'll be right by him, but then can I just sort of I don't know, take a protective stance next to him?
Yeah, absolutely. You could
Or-
either probably dodge or and try to provoke it to attack you and then dodge, or you could probably also
Well, what I want to do is since I've fought my fair share of owlbears, since I've been, well, not my fair share, but some. And so what I would like to do is actually get in front of him and then make myself look threatening and sort of roar back at him.
yeah.
Because they can be relatively intelligent, right? I mean, they can speak typically.
I don't think they can. They're similar to a
No?
bear, basically. Yeah, picture
Okay.
picture the grizzly bears of Icewind Dale, essentially.
Okay, I thought they had some
Except-
sort of
No.
intelligence, but either way, yeah. So I'm gonna try to at the same show that we're not there to hurt them, but at the same time, sort of try to ward him off.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a intimidation check.
Oh boy. An 8.
Okay. Yeah, so you I mean, it definitely takes note of you and shuffles a little bit, but doesn't really give any ground. All right, then let's go to oh boy, I think that's Fizwick. Yeah, it is.
Fizwick is going to jump directly in, try to jump into the bushes behind it and hide.
Okay. Yeah, so basically you can use your disengage as a bonus action.
Yeah.
And then you could use move over there, and you can move your token and use hide as an action.
Really left Clay holding the bag there.
All right, and go ahead and make a
Classic.
stealth,
Time.
Classic Fizwick. I love it.
go ahead and make a stealth check there, Fizwick.
Oh. 15. Oh, I forget everybody can't see it. Sorry.
There we go. All right, very good. Next up, anything else you'd like to do, Fizwick?
Giggle.
You just gave away your position. Well done. No. Grukvar, that's you.
I am going to come forward. I'm moving. Nikos, whoops. I'm going to walk forward far enough I can get traction, and I have the owlbear's attention from here, and I utter one word over the top of my shield, and I cast command, and I command the owlbear to flee. And so this requires a wisdom saving throw. It's got to be over 13.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, we got a 16. Well, let's see what the wisdom is. I don't think it's going to be a -3.
Oh no.
-4. Yeah, you got a 17.
Okay.
So it kind of glares at you into your eyes, and you sense its unwavering spirit.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to stay put.
Okay. Cool. That brings us to Nikos.
All right. So I am. So so I can see what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to not necessarily kill the owlbear, just try and shoot away. So I'm gonna respect this, and I'm going to, like Grukvar, use the command to do the exact same thing. But if I can, I would also like to add some intimidation to it by getting the arcane to sort of glow in my eyes, and as you know, like kind of intimidate as well as kind of like, you know, cast my spell.
Yeah.
Fizwick was
Go for
planning
it.
on trying to wrangle all three of them up. Maybe if you tame Mama, the other two will follow. So that was his plan, just in case you want to work along with that. I don't know if maybe.
Well, given that Fizwick's going to go after me, yeah. I think I will ready an action to do that, knowing that.
And
Because
if
I
you
haven't
want,
seen Fizwick. Because I haven't seen Fizwick do anything yet.
yeah, if you want Nikos to work with you and he doesn't know what your plan is going to be, you should phone him on your magic phone.
There
No.
you go.
You should just whispering from behind the bush.
Yeah, no, but I mean, as a player, I can definitely wrangle Nikos to sort of think, yeah, like, okay, where's Fizwick? He's supposed to be on top of this. I'll give it a few seconds, and I'll cast it if the owlbear goes to attack anyone. So I'll do it like to interpose.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so you've readied that action. If it attacks, well, I'll just tell you it's the owlbear's turn next.
Okay,
and
good, yeah.
then we have Ryan and or
Oh,
Clay,
right.
and
Okay.
then Fizwick. All right, so let's see here. The owlbear,
Wisdom save.
it has seen Fizwick go into into this fallen tree, and it is going to attack Clay as the only visible target now, and that is going to be a 17 to hit.
Sorry, D&D Beyond just.
Oh, do I get my ready action if it's attacking?
Yeah,
Yes,
that
you do.
it's a 16.
Okay, and before I make my second attack, Nikos, you have now seen it attack, so go ahead and roll your command.
It's a wisdom save.
Okay. He rolled a 9, plus 1 is 10.
That will fail. So the order is flee.
Okay. Ooh, all right.
Does he
So,
do damage to me then, or?
oh yes, it will do damage for the first attack. So that's going to be 10 damage as it slashes you with its claw, and then is forced to flee.
Oh, actually,
Nice.
I could tell it to grovel.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna grovel.
Yeah, I'll tell it to grovel.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it basically, it's as you speak, it catches your eyes, and it just looks kind of like confused for a moment. This confused look in its eyes, as it kind of just crumples to the ground on its front legs, and almost lays down. Now, how long does that spell last?
One
One
round.
round.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for the owlbear's turn. And the
Can Grukvar just shout to the assembly, "Let's go! Well, we've got the chance."
one of the owlbears, also on the owlbear's turn, has kind of left and gone back over here. Okay. So I guess it would be out of sight. Maybe Fizwick can still see a little bit of that owlbear. The other one is sitting here whining, seeming torn. All right. Next up, that brings us to Clay.
Okay. So if he's groveling, then I can safely back up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna back up, but at the same time, I'm gonna like maintain eye contact with the bear and just sort of like bow and spread my arms and back away,
Okay.
in a very unthreatening manner. And I'm gonna back up like to where the rest of the group is. Or
Nikos will whisper to Clay, "You know that in the animal kingdom, birds do this when they're doing a challenging dance.
nah, he's half bear.
In fact, specifically, that's how owls do it. Fun fact, go Google that.
I've
That's
seen this.
literally how owls
This
get
is
into fights with things.
That's cool.
So basically, he backed off going, F you.
Okay,
Bring it on.
Whatever.
No.
whatever the least threatening thing is to an owl bear,
Yes.
that's what I did.
Clay would know that as a barbarian. You're a barbarian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, a man of the wilds. You would
I've
probably.
been wandering these parts for a while.
There you go. All right. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Clay? If that was your move, you could also ready an action.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna ready. Did we decide if we could use shape water or what is it called for me? Because it's a little different.
Yeah, so I think with you can actually create water, so you don't have to worry about like whether
that's right.
whether you can use snow.
Yeah,
You can create water and shape it. So
Oh, you know what? Oh, Call to the Wave. That's what it's called. Yeah. So I'm gonna ready that if the mama makes any sort of aggressive action towards anybody, I just want to like annoyingly sort of like throw water at her or something like that to shoo her away.
all right, yeah, sounds good. Then that brings us to Fizwick.
Fizwick is going to try to take his opportunity and see if he can tame this magnificent beast. And he's going to pop out slowly from the bushes. And he's going to do the Chris Pratt from Jurassic Park. He's going to kind of like hold his hands up and slowly turn it into the Dundee.
Yeah, go ahead and make your animal handling check.
Are you doing that to its butt right now? Which way is it facing?
Maybe turned around. 22.
All right. Yeah, I mean, this thing, it looks at you and it kind of, it almost sinks further into the snow a little bit, maintaining its groveling posture.
Fizwick runs over and goes to its nose and looks it clear in the eyes and rubs its hands down its face like an old horse movie from the 80s. And there's a moment between Fizwick and the big fluffy beast.
Blow in his nose, then he'll know where you are or who you are.
Yeah, there's a moment.
Fizwick looks over to call the other beasts over.
The baby.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah. It is not its turn yet, but it's looking at you.
Okay.
All right. Cool. That brings us to Grukvar.
All right. I would like to come forward here and toss it some rations.
Okay. Yeah. It slowly kind of looks and picks at it a little bit, eats. Yep.
All right, and I'm just going to step back 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. All right, that brings us to Nikos.
Okay. I'm gonna get on my axe beak. I'm just like, this could go so pear-shaped so quickly. Yes, I'm gonna be mounted on the axe beak. And that is. Is there anything I can do to? All of my stuff does damage, and I get the very strong impression we're not trying to injure this thing. I mean, even though all of the stuff that I would use to do damage would, like, you know, lower its saving throws, lower its thing, you know. Yeah, I'm not gonna push it. I will, yeah, just mount my thing and ready to cast Swords of Blades or Sword Burst, that little spinny thing, if it decides to take a charge at me specifically.
Okay. Yep, that sounds good. All right, the owlbear is picking at the rations here. One of the owlbear cubs is gone. This one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see the speed of a baby owlbear. Well, the mama has 40 feet, so yeah, we'll just say sure.
Is it an African or European owlbear?
How is it gripping it?
It comes over by the mama's side here, and it trepidatiously, is that a word? I don't know. It starts picking out the rations as well.
Fizwick
And-
comforts the owlbear, the new owlbear as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that brings us back to Clay.
Okay. I'm going to
Berserk.
splat.
This calls for rage.
Yeah. I'm going to let's see. Can I see that the baby owl bear went over here behind this tree?
You saw it disappear behind the tree, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take some rations out of my pack, and just sort of like I'm going to move like over here as close to the baby as I can and just sort of like set the rations in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that's all of my movement. So I guess I'll throw them,
Mm-hmm.
10 or so feet away from me and just crouch down and watch.
Yep, that sounds good. Put some rations out here. A piece of venison, therefore deer.
I take a whole deer out of my pack.
Yep, I take a stag's head.
Put it in his bed. He knows what he did.
Oh, man. All right, so yes, you managed to do so. You don't see or hear anything, but yep. Okay, that brings us to Fizwick.
What's the big one doing right now?
The big one is picking at the rations and kind of looking up at you every once in a while, cautiously.
Well, Fizwick wants to try to see if he can wrangle this up and get on the back of its neck, and
The fastest way to the back of his neck is through his mouth.
he's completely fearless. He's in complete awe, and he's gonna try to climb up onto the fur after giving it a light muscle massage on the shoulders, just trying to really comfort it down.
Yeah,
And-
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, animal check.
Animal handling, yep.
You know it. Here we go, you guys. 22 again.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So you manage to climb onto the owlbear's back. It kind of, definitely shifts a little bit at your presence, but it's picking at the rations. Yep. You managed to do so. And that brings us to Gruckfar.
To my amazement, Fizwick seems to have this under control, so I am just going to casually head back towards the axe beak. And that's as far as I can go, and I'm going to call it a day at that for that turn.
All right. Yep. Very good. That brings us to Nikos.
How angry would the owlbear be if I did a ride-by attack on the baby with a net? Probably pretty angry.
Yeah.
We might lose some ground here if you do that. But you know
All right,
what?
I won't. But I will ready an action to do just that if it doesn't look like it's going our way.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds.
And
good.
I'll probably position myself better for it. So I'm going to move me and the axe beak like here-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Very good.
Good.
It is now the owlbear's turn. The owlbear is going to kind of stir a little bit, and it's going to stand up. And the baby's also just standing there. And that is the owlbear's turn. It is Clay's turn now. This is so weird.
So Clay is going to then move up a little bit more, take his rations, throw them over here, and just squat down and wait.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see or hear anything still. But yeah, you've done so. You've done the thing. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
Okay. That brings us to I think that's Fizwick's turn again.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can ride the mama over to the area of the baby, so they're in the presence.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead to the other baby. You mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you try to maneuver this owlbear? I guess.
Kind of tug on its ear, behind its ears, on the not on the ears. Fizwick goes for the ears, and then he says, maybe it's a better choice, and kind of grabs onto the neck fur.
With the rolls you're pulling, Fizwick, maybe you could pull on the ears. I don't even know.
Kick her in the
Can
cheek with your ankles.
Can I just say one thing? I mean, I hope it doesn't happen, but I really also hope it happens. Is that Fizwick does something wrong and the owl's head turns 180 degrees and just looks straight at him and then bite attack? Like, you know what I mean? Because owls have their rotating heads. I've always wanted to see an owlbear do that.
That's a really good idea, Michael. Thank you. Creepy as all get out. All right. I am going to make... Let's do this. Fizwick, go ahead and make your animal handling check.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Don't get to do it for free. Here we go. Oh, no. 9.
Yeah, the owlbear kind of gives a little... And not trying to throw you off necessarily, but definitely like starting to get a little bit cantankerous about it all. The baby owlbear trots up a little bit and is just right in front of its mama and it's looking up. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all that's going to happen this turn. Gruckvar, is your turn.
I'm going to continue my journey over here to the other axe beak and untie it from the tree. And can I get any movement out of this axe beak in this turn or not really?
Yeah, I mean, you could get maybe 10 feet or so, we'll say.
Okay, I am going to begin moving around the vicinity here with the with the axe beak.
I feel like we're the like good cops, and the two of you are just flanking the owlbears to murder them.
Well, just preparing.
Yep.
Hey, you're moving my baby out of.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it, but because you can't see it. There we go. All right. I was using the wrong one. Okay. Good. Gruckvar, anything else on your turn?
No.
All right, Nikos.
Fizwick seems to be okay. It's definitely not tame. And Nikos understands very much the difference between tame and placid. It's currently placid, definitely not tame. Could switch at any moment, so I'm just going to stay alert, readied. Eye on the cubs, eye on the owlbear. Basically, Nikos is in the mindset. It's like, if we need to cut our losses, as it were, I'm going to snatch one of these little babies and run.
I like this idea.
Yeah. Good. All right. The owlbear is going to, with Fizwick on its back, it is going to bolt this way. And Fizwick, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
13.
Okay. You manage to stay on its back. It does not seem concerned with trying to keep you on its back. It is bolting this way, and its cub can't quite keep up. But, yeah. All right. That brings us... Oops, let me get Fizwick back on top. That brings us to Clay.
I want to picture Clay like standing up and just watching a goblin go flying past on an owlbear. But let's see. As far as I know, the baby is still in that clump of trees, right? Or did I see him run away somewhere?
No, you didn't see it run away anywhere. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to come over here by the bait. But then having seen Fizwick go flying by, I am going to use the rest of my movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And let me think. I'm gonna ready an action to. Can I ready an action to sort of try to jump and tackle the baby that's following the mama if she decides to do something untoward?
Yep. Absolutely.
With the intention not to hurt it, but to say like, I got your baby, you better calm down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, that's good. All right. Next up, we have Fizwick.
That's like not the advice anybody would give if they saw like, hey, if you see a bear, make sure you grab the baby and be like, listen, bear, this is what's happening. You're gonna go away.
And then Clay snaps its neck in front of him, and then he realizes it's an owlbear, and the neck doesn't snap.
Michael just keeps going back to these owl necks, man. They're fascinating creatures.
Yeah, no, lovely creatures, amazing.
Fizwick knows he's got a wild horse right now, and he wants to try to tame this beast. So
Yeah.
he's gonna try to calm it down and toss out an animal handling check
Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
for a 12.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that you've managed to calm it down pretty well, but it's not liking it's not liking you on its back. We'll just say that you feel like it's just kind of trying to move you off its back.
Fizwick's gonna slide off the back.
Okay.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, it calms down when you do that. It is more still. Yep. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, guys. Let's all kind of What's the end game here? I guess is what I would say.
I want to steal an owlbear cub.
I wanted to make friends with an owlbear cub.
I was just biding my time till Fizwick failed at taming an owlbear and then try and get us out of here. in one
Fizwick
piece.
wanted to just get a group of animals and it would be awesome.
It's your little
I can
furry
picture
posse.
Fizwick holding his rapier forward and the owlbears charge past him in battle.
Yes, Fizwick, the owlbear tamer.
Well,
Well, we
Okay.
can raise the other two, and then everybody's got owl bears, except for Grekvar, because he didn't want anything to do with this.
Too dangerous.
So let's do this. I'm gonna speed things along. We're gonna do one more animal handling check for Fizwick, and because Fizwick's trying to tame the big mama, and then we'll see what happens with the cubs in a second.
10. That's a 10.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you get like the owlbear starts running away. It is looking for its other cub. What would you guys like to do?
Is it my turn, or are we going out of initiative?
Just tell me. Anyone have any ideas?
I was gonna just dash towards Fizwick to try and sweep him up and pull him up on the X-Beak to get out of there.
Okay. Other thoughts?
I'm going to grab a baby.
I was hoping.
To be
someone would say
clear,
that.
an owl bear, right? Not just a baby.
Also that. That's my kids meal for later.
I'm going to. I would
Comes
like.
with a toy.
I would like to pick up the rations that I threw and sort of very slowly creep under this tree to see if the baby's still there.
Yeah, and you don't see it anywhere. Like the mama owlbear is like seeming very concerned and kind of running, and you see it looking around, and you see it making a call. I don't know what owlbear call sounds like, but you know it's doing that. And
Do you have that in Syrinscape, Nikos?
I do, but my Syrinscape is
Oh, okay.
is well basically my subscription ended and I forgot to boost it up again. But
Okay. No worries.
there are owlbear sounds.
I believe it.
So if you guys would like to try to grab the baby owlbear, you may do that. The mother is away concerned at the moment. Could be back any minute, but yes.
Keep in mind that two of us are not riding axe beaks.
Mm-hmm. So do you guys want to try to nab the baby? Nikos
Yes,
does.
I do.
Okay. So Nikos, you have a net, and what I would like you to do is just go ahead and make a straight dexterity check, if you would.
Okay. Do I have an advantage because I'm on an owlbear? On an axe beak?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yep.
Hooray! All right. Making my thing with a net. Oh, nice. That is a natural 20.
Wow.
You have an owlbear baby in a net, and
I
now
dropped the 4.
I am imagining you guys might want to split. What will you be doing?
I'm gonna dash up and grab Fizwick.
Fizwick wants to push his luck and see if he can get the mama.
Okay.
I want to take the axe beak this way and kind of jump over the branches.
Okay, and I'll just
I would imagine that baby owl bear is screaming something fierce right
I'll
now.
just take the baby owlbear off and assume that it is in your possession, Nikos.
Okay.
we
And
don't have to
to
drag
also
3
be clear,
tokens.
I'm going to be using my metal net.
Okay. Yeah, you've got it. It is being dragged behind you, or maybe you're lifting it up slightly. Yeah. Fizwick, you're going to push your luck with the mama?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I ready an action?
Yes.
I want to ready my thaumaturgy so that if I see things going poorly with Fizwick's most recent effort, I want to try and emulate the sound of a cooing owlbear baby 30 feet away, as far away from me as I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To the north, just to try and pull that owlbear mama away.
Yeah. Okay. So you managed to do so, and it definitely, seems to take the bait. So to
I
speak.
want to ready that action if
Oh, I see.
it's
Okay.
needed.
Yeah. So basically, we're kind of out of initiative order here for the moment. Just kind of, there it's a little more loose as the owlbear has left, and there doesn't seem to be an imminent attack. But sure, you can do that. So if the owlbear seems to come back, you will do that.
Clay
Okay.
looks
If she's attacking Fizz,
Okay. So
Clay looked somewhat horrified that Nikos just did what he did. And I want to just move over here real quick to see if I can see anything over there too.
you see the owlbear out there, and you see it turn back towards you, and it's running towards you. you see the baby that it had found about 20 feet behind it. You can just barely make out this little speck running behind the mama as it's charging back in your direction. What would you guys like to do? We can go back into initiative order now, I suppose. I think we'll go with Fizwick being closest. I'm just going to give you the first turn.
Fizwick wants to see if he can calm it down. We built a good repertoire. It's come on, this can't be it. There's got to
Okay.
be more to the story.
So what do you do to try to calm it down?
He's gonna do the double Dundee with 2 hands.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Yeah.
Have
go
you
ahead and
ever
make-
have you ever broken out the 2 hands before, Fizwick?
No, this has
Okay.
never happened.
I think
Wow.
you might need to use your feet too
This
for
is the
this
time
one.
for it.
You're gonna be mad.
I do not know you understand the power of which you wield.
We go 17.
Okay. How are you guys doing on time if this doesn't go well in terms of the taming? Are we good? Are we good to fight an owlbear?
I'm good.
Or
Yeah, I'm good.
Probably shouldn't.
okay, no, that's fine. That's
I mean,
that's
we
totally
can
fine.
we can vote, and I will if we have to. But
Well, we can all. How about this? I'll make it super speedy. That's not going to be enough. Like this owlbear has seen you drag its mama. You would have to get basically like a 25 in order
Y'all
to
dead.
tame it. So it is charging up to Fizwick, and we're gonna make a super speedy combat here. So owlbear attack. Go ahead.
So real quick, would it go after him or would it go after me?
It would probably go after the closest thing in its way, and it's probably not gonna let you run away out of sight. But yeah.
I don't know if it even knows that you have that baby because it was turned around when you grabbed it.
Oh,
It
I
would
shook
be-
the cage.
it would be screaming though.
I think Nikos is back in Easthaven. I think Nikos is all the way in Easthaven or Caer Konig. He's talking to that
Like-
chef.
It just oh, good job, guys! Wow, that owlbear almost got us, guys.
You turn around, there's nobody there.
All right. So the owlbear is going to hit, and that is going to do 10 damage on the first attack to Fizwick. Second one is also a hit, and that is going to be 8 damage. So that's a total of 18 damage, Fizwick. All right. Next up, we have.
Can we do my ready
yes.
action of that cooing noise 30 feet to the north?
Yep, but it doesn't really seem to have much of an effect because it only has 2 babies.
Okay. But
So-
does it know? But does it know where the second one is?
It just, it's behind it now.
Oh, okay.
Again, yeah. Yeah.
Not to belabor it, Nate, but what about the one that Nikos took? It's gone now.
Yeah, I think it probably sees it up there, but it's running past Fizwick first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that brings us to
The videos.
Gruckvar. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
My bad, guys. That brings us to Gruckvar.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, did it totally poop out? Oh, no. I minimized it, and OBS just
It's
doesn't
life
want to.
telling us that we need to save it for next time. It's like
I
no,
think so. I think we
finish
might
it
have to
off.
save this combat for next time.
Okay.
It could be kind of a long combat, so I think we better end it here.
Right.
I mean, I was trying to make it quick, but no. I know how
Okay.
things go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we lost video feed. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my Zoom window so that people can at least see you guys as we depart in the middle of this owlbear fight. So the party has an owlbear cub in tow. Well, Nikos does. And now we are going to be seeing how things go with the mama and if they manage to get away with an owlbear cub. So let me add the Zoom window. And then, do you guys have
So,
any other questions, comments, things
I
to
do.
note?
I do. I would like to propose that we are heading to Caer Konig before Easthaven to go meet with a chef. I would like to propose the world's first Kentucky fried owlbear.
Oh, you're gonna break Fizwick's heart.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's going to go real well.
It's not a franchise.
Is that going to be your specialty that you implement at the Northern Light? This fried.
Yeah, we call it.
Kentucky
Instead of
Fried
finger licking good,
owlbear?
we call it ass kicking good.
Yeah.
Clay's not going to be super happy about it either. He wanted to raise one and have an actual mount.
Okay.
How long? Actually, that's a good question. How long do owlbears take to mature? I'm gonna Google that.
Hey, I think I found it. Okay, there we go. Here we are.
Ask David Attenborough.
Okay, stop virtual camera, and
Here we
let's
go.
see if
Oh,
I
there's
can
a
turn on my
camera.
regular camera now. Oh well. Hey, they're not going to see me, but at least they get to see most of us. They get to see my silly profile picture. So Caer Konig from here is not too far. Let's see, from Caer Konig to Caer Konig is 2 hours. So I would say you guys probably made it about halfway before this happened. So probably about 1 hour away, faster on axe beak. But we only have 2 axe beaks, I guess. So, you know. But hey, we have 3 owlbears that you guys are going to easily tame and ride to victory.
Yay.
So, yeah. Any other questions, points of order, things we want to clarify before we sign off?
Yes, an owlbear takes anywhere between 4 to 6 years to mature.
Oh well, never mind.
Okay. And
Not
so
gonna
maybe
ride-
this one
ride a
is
little puppy around.
Yeah, maybe this one, you know, is more on the 4-year end. Yep.
Yeah. And I was just joking about the eating it thing. I was just, yeah.
We got the colonel up in here.
Well, cool. Well, hey, thank you everybody for joining us. This was a supremely interesting session. Taming an owlbear, like I'll be honest, I'm a little bit above my over my head here with some of this stuff, but I'm trying to make it work because I know my man Fizwick is into the animals, and we'll see how this goes here. But yeah, thank you guys for playing again. Any last things you guys want to say before we sign off?
Good job grabbing at least one of them, Michael.
You're welcome. You know what? Actually, I will say this. You know, guys, if you ever play in a party with a group of individuals that are obviously going to be diametrically different, always take the opportunity to appreciate the plans and the styles of the people around you. That is one of the big reasons why I saw the opportunity to help, or to at least promote Fizwick trying to tame the owlbear, giving him the fish, you know, doing that. Even though Nikos was very much like, I think for like 3 rounds of this, just sitting at the back, that's fine, you know, like don't be afraid to do stuff like that because it makes you a better role player, it makes the game more fun, and it gives someone a chance to really kind of shine and do something that, you know, that they're supposed to do. So, you know, not every encounter needs you specifically, you know, so
I mean,
don't be afraid to do
Hey,
that.
we got the double Dundee out of it, so
You got the double Dundee. That was awesome. That was so cool. And, you know,
Touch me.
if we kind of all sort of bum rushed an owlbear, we wouldn't have got to see Fizwick riding an owlbear, because officially Fizwick has ridden an owlbear. Yeah, that I think, you know, is important. Okay,
And if
that's
there are
what
any-
I want to throw out.
And if there are any artists out there who want to make a little scene for us, I would love to see that scene. Fizwick riding an owlbear.
Got to have everybody though, like looking like you got to combine us all somehow. Can't just be about me.
Yeah.
Either way, it'd be pretty cool, I think.
You can have your moment. This is
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
I
a
like
once in a
that.
campaign
Oh.
moment.
Yeah.
Fizwick's gonna die next
Look
session.
at
So.
faces. Everyone's got
The owlbears will never let him go. They will be stalking him for the rest of his.
they're gonna
known
tame
life.
him and make him their servant.
Yep. It's like just vengeful owlbears everywhere you guys turn.
Did we talk? I don't
The
know.
owlbear, what is it? Like a letter chain. They're gonna pass it from owlbear to owlbear, tribe to tribe, and
Good. Well, good stuff, guys. So yeah, we are, you know, just a little meta. We are now officially out of chapter 1 finally. I don't mean finally like, man, that took forever. I mean like, no, it's a big chapter full of stuff. It's a big sandbox of 10 towns quests. And I really think there's a lot of good stuff in the book for those 10 towns quests. Sometimes a little bit detached. That's the nature of a sandbox. Often is like not everything is leading toward the thing, but yeah. Thank you guys for making it through chapter 1, and we're gonna be headed into chapter 2 and 3, which kind of go a little bit back and forth. So I'm really excited about the next phase here as we start to look outward beyond just the 10 towns a little bit more. So. Yeah. Don't forget to check out Darksea Workshop. Awesome products made by my man Will Fizwick down in the video description. There's a link to that, and Dead Aussie Gamer as well. Check out links to Twitch and YouTube. And hey, remember that patrons of WASD 20 get access to things like weekly live map drawing streams with me, as well as campaign diaries in which I spill all the beans about the campaign and all the dirty. No, not really. But you know, I reflect on the process of DMing, and yeah, it's just kind of a good time for me to talk about. Okay, here's what happened. Here's where I think things need to go. And
This was all a dream.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, if you want access to those, go check out the Patreon. All right, cool. Thank you guys. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.